Hey everyone, Rua here with a strategy for this month's Ambuscade. Now, this month is a repeat of the instance back in December last year, and although I made a video for it back then, it's not aged well. So here we are. You're up against the Soulflayer and his squadron of imps, all of which have to be beaten to win. The Soulflayer and his imps both like to use a full AoE dispel, so melee setups are out the window for this month, I'm afraid. They're also heavily resistant to magic, so that's mages out too. You have to use ranged DPS and pet jobs to win. Narrows it down a bit, I know, but I really can't see how else you'll do this. Corsair, Summoner, Ranger and Puppet Master can all do this, but above all, you need a very good tank and a very good healer supporting them, or this fight will be over before you know it. As usual, your tank needs to get hate on everything ASAP. Foil will do it for Rune Fencers, Sentinel will do it for Paladins. You seriously need to spike your hate quickly though, as the longer these imps are out the harder this will be. Your ranged DPS need to go really hard at the start of this fight, so you need that hate. You need to funnel the imps and the Soulflayer in front of you, so you're either parrying them or shield blocking them. This is important, and you need to go out of your way to do this. It may seem simple enough when you first engage, but when that full dispel hits, you're in for a really rough time. This fight is a serious test of how good of a tank you really are. You need to survive while being hit with full dispels, you need to maintain hate on everything through silence and amnesia spam, and you also need to be ready with panaceas. This is because the Soulflayer's version of Tribulation is obscenely strong, dealing a massive 1000 HP bio per tick. Your tank simply can't wait for the healer to remove that. Keep an eye out for it, and if it lands, use a panacea to get it off or you'll be dead before you know it. The Soulflayer is a blue mage and uses high level AoE spells, which start hitting pretty hard when all your buffs are gone. He doesn't prefer one particular element though, so I recommend using 3 Lux runes to blunt Tenebral Crush, and more importantly to reduce the chance of Tribulation's bio landing. When the full dispel hits, here's how to recover. Rune Fencers can hit Batuta to spike their parrying rate, and also hit One for All to blunt incoming magic damage. This window should give you time to at least get Phalanx and Shell 5 back up. Paladins can hit Palisade and Rampart for the same effect. This is a one-off for a Paladin though, given the reuse timers. If you can cast Reprisal through all this hitting you, then you're golden. If not, try to time spell cast when Solace Cure Skin is on. This is important. Never leave a DT set when recasting your buffs. All it takes is for one Soulflayer spell to catch you in a fast cast set with no buffs to flatten you. Don't risk it. Keep an eye out for the Stone Skin effect from Solace Cures and cast your spells then. You also need to keep an eye out for Benthic Typhoon, which can hit you with both physical and magic defense down. Use a panacea and get it off quickly. You're eventually going to get hit with a full dispel again. Either time recasts around Cure Skin or use Velation Reliance at their backup for the fast cast effect. When the imps are gone, you can turn on the Soulflayer. Even without his imps, the Soulflayer is still dangerous. He has access to 2 full dispel moves, one single target and one which is AoE, so your backline need to watch their distance so they don't get hit with it. The Soulflayer will gain a shield effect whenever he uses a mortal shield. His shield increases in strength the longer it's allowed to remain active. When first used, the shield negates all non-critical hit damage and reduces critical hit and weapon skill damage by half. If it's left up for too long, the shield then cancels out all damage unless it's from a summoner's avatar. If I had to guess how a summoner's avatar can get through the shield, I think it may be because the shield might be vulnerable to attacks from players or pets with low hate, which is exactly how an avatar can bypass it. 1 or 2 Volt Strikes with Predator Claws will shatter the shield entirely. You can get it back up though, so you need to keep an eye out for it. A quick way to end the fight is to use Astral Conduit and go to town on the Soulflayer. This isn't guaranteed to work though, as all it takes is one AoE spell to kill an avatar. It's not an essential part of the strategy, but it's still an option. Keep up the damage, keep dropping the shield, and you'll eventually win. I know I've focused almost entirely on the tank's role in this video, but that's because the tank's job is the most important, and the most difficult. Before I end this though, I should let you know of some of the pitfalls in this fight. While the tank is important, the healer is ultimately the one keeping them in the fight. Healers need to watch their distance so the full dispel doesn't hit them. That could lead to problems. If they are hit with a full dispel, then counter with Sforzo or a Delict to buy time. Corsairs getting hit with a dispel will also bring damage to a screeching halt, so they also need to watch their distance. 20 yarns should do it. Finally, make sure that your healer doesn't forget Avlada Solace. It's understandable if it gets wiped by accident, don't get me wrong, but outright forgetting it is a sign of a bad player. Without those Stone Skin cures, your tank is going to have a much harder time rebuffing themselves and staying in the fight. Tanks should be carrying Panaceas for this fight, but the very least a player on a healing job can do is meet them halfway by fully clocking in. Anyway, that's all for me for Ambuscade this month. I'll see you next time.